Okay, this is the workaround for cutting your peak cap kit for roof lines that have a slope greater than your miter saw's ability to cut or to swing over and cut an angle. Let's say the slope of your roof is 50 degrees. The end goal here when you create the peak cap is you want this side and this side to be both at 50 degrees to match the slope of your roof. Since your miter saw can't do that, here's the workaround. The first thing you're going to need to do is build a simple jig. We did a 4x4, that way you've got plenty of room to nestle this against so it doesn't have any room to tilt. It's got plenty of surface area to nestle against. We also measured it just long enough to go to the back of our fence,
gap
all the way to a quarter of an inch before the blade strikes. This gives us a little bit of room so that when we're cutting our angle here, we're going to hit closer to this edge, the top edge of the grooves, rather than cutting through the grooves. We also added this metal plate in the back so that we could easily just throw it onto the fence, lock it down, and ready to cut really quickly. To make our first cut, the difference here is instead of cutting parallel to the fence, we're going to cut perpendicular. You're going to position this track so that the grooved edge is against your jig, just like so. And then you're going to do some math. As mentioned before in our sample scenario here, we've got a 50-degree roof slope angle. We're going to take 90 degrees minus 50, and that will be the first cut. So 40 degrees will be our first cut. We'll adjust our blade over to cut a 40-degree angle across the top of our perpendicular channel, just like so. We'll cut it up, and then we've got the first half of our cut done. Once that's done, you'll remove your jig. You'll reposition the track to place the freshly cut edge against the fence, line up the point of the previous cut exactly to where your blade's going to strike, and set your blade to cut at this angle. You're going to take your slope times 2 minus 90. In our case, it was a 50-degree slope, times 2 was 100, minus 90, that gives me negative 10. Forget about the negative, just go 10. So you'll adjust your saw to cut at a 10-degree angle with your channel freshly cut face against the fence, 10 degrees on the saw, lined up exactly to strike at the point of your previous cut, and cut across, and you now have a 50-degree angle on the right, 50-degree angle on the left, and you're ready to go on to the next steps of the peak cap preparation.